Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Monday's What Map. Now tonight at 6 o'clock UK time, the new Skylines talk will be going live with a very special A-lister guest. You don't want to miss it, and I will be announcing who that guest is at some point during today's show. So don't skip to the end, you don't want to miss that, and you don't want to miss this map. Something special about a capital H with a U bend at the top, do you not think? Yeah, me too. It's Baycliff by Nathan. Now it's a creator request, could I review his map? I said yes, and then he came up with a second map before I could review this one, and there's not enough time to do both, so I'm just going to do this one. The resource is a bit vanilla-y, nothing wrong with that, I guess. And then the theme, etc. Now it's a realistic temperate theme. Unfortunately, for some reason, my game doesn't handle any of the realistic themes as it should do. I don't know why, I haven't got to the bottom of it. Everything's set up correctly, so we're not going to get exact colours here. Anyway, let's start off with these roads. Now, I've learned to forgive roads on the edge of the map in the fog a little bit. Can't really forgive that. There's no reason for that bridge to be quite that uneven at the start. And then we've got this dogleg. Now, honestly, if you're going to have a dogleg, you would really want to have it underneath one of those pillars. You would. You wouldn't want it being held up by the suspension. That is just not... Physics isn't liking that. Unless it is floating somewhat on the water, so maybe it's actually a floating bridge. But then why do you need the pillars? I don't know. Anyway, perfect off the other end. That's very nice. And now a long straight bit of road. Now there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with it. This isn't supposed to be a realistic map. So, the question is it an aesthetically pleasing map? Does it work? And all those sort of questions are going to be asked ourselves, I guess. And then we come to a second bridge. This one, this is fine. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect bridge. Very happy with that. And then we come down to another build plane here and another cloverleaf junction at the end. And that's a start location, obviously. Bit far from the river, but so you've got a second start location over here, and that's close enough to the water. So that's fine, I guess. Now the rail. Once again, we're in the fog, so we kind of can forgive that a little bit on the right on the edge. And that's a nice gentle incline there, and then boom. Boom. Straight up the hill. And a bit of a, ooh, ouch corner there. No train's going to manage this. And then around here, now we're going onto a ledge. And that's fine, I don't have a problem with going along ledges until you hit that. That's just super ugly. And then this bridge here, okay, it's a bit awkward getting onto it. Again, no train would handle that. But this is okay, to be honest with you. Considering what it is, it's smooth, it's not too steep. I can deal with that one. And then we're back onto the build plane and into the forest. Okay, what's going to happen to the track here? We're getting a little bit steep, but we're going up. It's smooth. It's not steep. It's smooth. I'm okay. And down a little bit, and then this 1 in 2 almost. It's ridiculous. Up into the rocks, and oh, look at this! Look at this! See, even the City Skyline train is slowing down for this. Even the train is slowing down for it. Oh, you don't see the train slow down for anything in this game, but that, it had to. And then there's this bridge, which is high enough to allow shipping underneath it, so that's good if there's a shipping route under there. But then we've got this steep little drop there, which the train shouldn't like. In real life, it really wouldn't like it. I know it's not a realistic map, but there are still the laws of physics to observe, and that's not good. Let's see what happens when we enter the mountains over here. That's not too bad. A bit of a dip there. Oh, and oh no. please save me with an asset review. Now today's asset review is a glorious one, okay? Let's go from lows to highs. It's Stone Pine Set by MrMaison. Now you'll know MrMaison for being a legend that is the tree maker of this game. He does other things as well. But the trees. Now this is a set of 3 different trees. There's stone pine trees obviously. And very much in the style of Goldilocks. We've got a small one, we've got a middle-sized one, and we've got a big one. Now I have detailed this with a little muddy road and some grasses, but you're just looking at the trees. That's what you're looking at here. You can ignore my beautiful detailing and the fence around the outside, just ignore that. Now anyway, yes, MrMaison, he's just outstanding. Look at that tree there. Just outstanding, the tree detailing, and I'm just loving these. Every town should have these. Every town should have a MrMaison tree, surely. So anyway, that's Stone Pine Set by MrMaison, and that's today's asset of the day. And Skylines Talk tonight, the special guest is MrMaison himself, so don't miss that. Going live at 6 o'clock UK time, it's a legend, that is MrMaison. Be there, or be somewhere else. Back to Baycliff, and see it has a shipping route, see it goes through that gap. He's deliberately managed to get it through that gap. That's good. Let's see if the ship manages to make it though, because it is, although it's raised, is it high enough? Is it? It does miss the pillar just, but it clips there. Now a cruise ship isn't going to make it through there, is it? No. But let's see what happens with the ship that comes the opposite direction. Does it make it through there as well? Or is it going to go headland, yeah, straight through the pillar? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The rest of the shipping route's very straightforward. Straight line down the side of the capital H. And this loop-de-loop at the top, it's okay. I mean, it's a bit jaunty, the shipping route, but it does go, manage to avoid all the rocks, etc. So that's okay. And now on to the water flow. Now, I've got to be honest with you, when I did this fly through, I didn't see any water flow, but now I review it again, I can see there is actually some water movement. So I was going to mark it down a star for having no water movement, but there does appear to be, so I've changed my mind on that. These hills look like they're made out of jelly moulds, and there's no real getting up into them, to be honest with you, so there's no building on that ridge there. This one on the right though, you could get into there, so that does give you a chance for some hilltop housing estates. These are impenetrable. Okay, they're for show. I don't know if you like them aesthetically, but that's what they're there for. Finally, we got this plane up here. You could get up there with a cable car if you got the DLC, I think. I don't know about the DLC, but I would imagine you could get up there with a cable car. So that's that. What else have we got with this map before we call it a day? Detailing. I'm sure there's some detailing around here somewhere. Let's have a look. Beaches, not particularly smoothed. Through here, yes, down here. Down here we've got some gun emplacements, which we'll look at in a second at what they're pointing at. And this wharf, which is way too high. No boats could ever have reached that, and it's even higher than the bridge. That's ridiculous. And there you go, that's what the guns are aiming at. I don't know what's coming down that valley, but it's going to get flattened. Scary. Scary, scary. We've also got this, the essential lighthouse in the least essential place ever. No ship is ever in danger of hitting that in the month of Sundays. And we've got a factory as well. There is also a castle that I missed, but this factory is inaccessible. And the castle is around the corner, but I forgot to film it because I was so excited about getting to the end and giving it some scores. Aesthetically, I have seen worse, but not much. So I'm giving it a 2nd star just for that. Detailing, I'm afraid, is awful. I can't give it a 2nd star for detail, 1 star for detail. Gameplay potential, it was going to be just 1 star for that, but there is water movement, hurrah! So I'm going to grant it a 2nd star. Baycliff by Nathan, I'm afraid you've got to do a little bit more work, a little bit more practice before you can class yourself as a great map maker. So that's it. Join me tonight at 6 o'clock with MrMaison for Skylines Talk, and don't forget to click like and subscribe while you're here, because you know it's just polite, isn't it? You're a nicer, polite person. Hit it now. Thanks for that, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.